It feels good to get in by yourself and try new things, try different things. You know, even if you do them wrong, you know, just try different things, you know, and then go into training and try test it out, see what happens. Maybe you get pieced up, maybe you don't. But I think a big part of learning and becoming really good at martial arts is actually training by yourself. You know, you should go to practice and you should train as much as possible, but you should also train a lot by yourself. That's when you're gonna truly learn the techniques. You're gonna learn them in sparring, but you're gonna get a deeper understanding for techniques and movement and why the techniques are used when you're on your own, just playing around, hitting the bag, visualizing scenarios, visualizing things going down, you know? And then, because when you go to practice, it's great, for sure, when you're in the gym sparring, stuff like that, doing drills, it's great. A lot of people learn that way, but there's a difference when, you know, your coach is like, hey, do this, do that, and you don't understand why you're doing this or why you're doing that, or you only have a surface level understanding of why you're doing this and why you're doing that. When you're training by yourself, you can really get in, try new things that you learned in practice, and try and play with different scenarios mentally of different things that can happen. You know, when you're watching martial arts movies, there's always a moment in time where the guy's training by himself for a long period of time, running in the mountains like Rocky, you know, hitting the bag, just training, just getting it, learning the moves, you know, without no outside external pressure. You know, how bad do you want it when you're with yourself training on your own? You know, so I believe a big part of becoming a better martial artist is training by yourself. You know, those moments, those quiet moments when you're training, when you learn a lot. I feel amazing. You know, I feel amazing after that workout, going hard, pushing it. You know, seeing where the things that I could get better at, you know, by myself. You know what I'm saying? And then when I go to practice, I'm going to be able to get a little bit better. You know, it's a little step ahead. My mental is going to be better. My resolve is going to be better, you know? And I'm going to have new things to test out in practice. You know, guys like John Jones, for example, you know, John Jones is my favorite fighter. He gets a lot of hate, but it is what it is. He's an incredible fighter, and I like him a lot because, you know, one thing about John Jones is he learned a lot from just literally watching YouTube videos and meditating. You know, he said that's when he became really good, was when he was literally watching YouTube videos and meditating. You know, and a lot of people who fight him say it's like he sees time slower than everybody else. He just knows what you're gonna do. So, and he says in his actual training, a big part of when he goes to fight people is he sits down and he analyzes everything that they do. You know, these quiet moments when you're by yourself is when you're gonna get way better. You know, training by yourself. I like Yuri Prohaska a lot. He is always training by himself, and all his videos, you know, he's over there in the back, in the nature, you know, hitting the bag, trying just weird stuff, goofy things, but it works. And when he goes into practice, when he goes to fight, people are like, dang, what's this? I haven't really seen this before. Because martial arts is self-expression. It's art. Martial arts. Martial is war. Art is art, your self-expression. So when you're in here training by yourself, whether you're in the park or you're hitting the bag or you're in the gym, whatever, when you're training by yourself, you get to kind of express yourself for yourself a little bit more without any external pressure. You know what I'm saying? Without anybody being like, hey, you're doing that wrong, or hey, what's that? Hey, don't try that. That's goofy. You know, I remember years ago, one of the guys I respect a lot, you know, great coach, amazing coach, he told me, I asked him about the Philly shell. You know, and hey, would this work in MMA? This is like maybe over 12 years ago or so. I was like, hey, what do you think about the Philly shell? This is more like 10 years ago. I was like, hey, what do you think about the Philly shell in MMA? You think that could work? And he told me, he was like, nah, that would never work, you know, because you're gonna get kicked in the legs, this, that, this, and this. And then fast forward 10 years, I'm seeing Sean Strickland do it, you know, in the cage at a high level. So, you know, so many coaches that I've had have told me, hey, don't do this. Hey, don't do that. And then I see guys doing it. You know, Alex Pereira throwing, the way he throws his kicks is technically wrong, right? But it works for him. And that's something that he probably developed on his own. Maybe one of his coaches showed him that, but probably he developed it on his own. So basically what I'm saying is, it's good, and a big part of your training should be training solo, you know, in a field, on the bag, and just playing with the art, the martial art, playing with your style, and seeing what you like, you know, what your personality is. Is your personality throwing crazy flashy kicks? Is your personality throwing crazy flashy punches? Is your personality blocking? You know, nobody can fight like you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can fight like you. You're the only one who can fight like you because you're the only one who is you. You're the only one who's experienced your life. You're the only one who's had your struggles. You're the only one who has lived your story. Therefore, your fighting style is going to be unique to you, you know? So I think it's important to express yourself and find out who exactly you are as a martial artist. You know, Bruce Lee was out there training by himself all the time. But for all you guys out there who are like, oh, what is he saying? I'm not saying don't go to the gym and train. You must go to the gym and train to learn and hit a certain level. But also, you should be training by yourself a lot, you know, and that's my 2 cents for today. You know, I just had an incredible workout. I'm feeling great, and much love. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.